Uncommon Women, a podcast that provides a platform for women of all walks of life to share their upbringings, life lessons learned, experiences, and journeys to come. Uncommon Women speaks on topics that can relate to all women. We share, we listen, we laugh, we cry, and we empower each other to be the best uncommon woman that they can be. Ultimately, we are cultivating a global movement of women supporting women. Women supporting entrepreneurship, relationships, self-love, and so much more. We inspire each other to make an impact on this world for the better. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Uncommon Women. Now, finally, grab a seat, get comfortable, and hear from your wonderful hosts, Shanira and Jenny Lee. Good evening, kings and queens. Thank you for tuning in to Uncommon Women. I'm Shanira.
And I'm Jenny Lee.
And today we have an amazing guest speaker that's going to come on and share her experience in regards to being a women athlete and also, helping the community with a variety of things, including her being a new release of a published author. But before we get into that, I do actually have the honors of being a guest speaker for our Girls Confidence Camp next week for the ages of 10 and 18. And I wanted to just take a moment and actually share a clip that gives a little bit more information in regards to what we're doing next week. So, there we go.
Hey there, my name is Jenny Lee, and I want to speak on an amazing event called the 4th Annual Confidence Glam Camp for girls for the ages of 12 to 18 years old. Sign up today. The dates are July 8th through the 10th of 2022. Also, which is located in Camp Geneva in Florida. As well as if you want to be a sponsor or donate for this event, your contact information is girlsigniting@gmail.com. And remember, everyone, to stay uncommon.
Yeah, so if you know any girls, if you have any nieces or you have any daughters or maybe even cousins between the ages of 10 and 18, be sure to register them so they can enjoy the camp. It's 3 days of events, including a place to stay as well as fun activities. They'll be doing tea parties. They'll be speaking on purity. They'll also be doing horseback riding, zip lining. So I'm super excited to have the honors of being a part of that with some amazing guest speakers as well. Please go ahead and register your daughters. Again, I believe the cutoff date for that will be on Monday. So if you're interested or you know someone that's interested, go ahead and register them to get them in an amazing camp. But without further ado, we have an amazing guest speaker that's going to come on in just a moment to tell you a little bit about her. Ashley, she's a Reading High School graduate and a Reading High School assistant girls basketball coach, released her first book titled My Blueprint to Become a Queen of the Castle, which we'll get to in just a moment. Just to tell you a little bit more about Ashley, she has had playing opportunities in Germany and also played in the ABA basketball in both Virginia and North Carolina. What she does as well is she's also provides scholarships to student athletes, which is funded through her organization called Proud Alumni. So we'll get to that as we get to know Ashley a little bit more today, and she just spent some time with us to share her journey in regards to being a coach now, but also having the process of being a women athlete. So thank you so much, Ashley, for coming on today.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you wanted to add or share that we didn't add in your bio?
You basically touched points of what I've done thus far. That's basically it as far as playing experience wise.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So before we get into your experience in regards to playing, can you tell us a little bit about your life and how was it growing up?
So growing up, I was a church kid. I was in church Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Sundays. I was in church, whatever. My grandfather was the bishop. My uncles are bishops, and so are my other family members as well. So basically sports for me was the way of actually getting outside.
Being in church, right?
Yeah.
I was a big tomboy. Played football, baseball. I climbed trees, manhunt. I like to be outside, just to be involved with being involved, running outside, sweating. Compared to these kids nowadays on these tablets and phones and just doing whatever they do at home.
Yeah.
That was a big mark for my childhood, just being outside, hang around the boys. They never took it easy on me. I always, one of them. I had a lot of course, female friends too, but they were always so catty and chatty, and I wasn't really too down with all that drama stuff. So hanging with the boys was just easier for me coming up.
Okay. So is that how did you get introduced in playing basketball? Was it because you were with the guys all the time and it's just something that you were able to do I go to church like, no, Mom, I'm going to the park. We got a tournament today.
Actually, no. I have 2 older siblings. So my sister, she actually, I can say she molded me first into playing basketball. I used to watch her games while she was in high school and I was still, coming through the trenches. And I would be in the stands yelling at her, like, you need to shoot the ball more, like, just fussing at her through the stands. Mind you, I might be like 8 years old and she's already in high school. And my brother also played sports, so they actually kind of molded that path for me as well. And my dad always had me lifting weights in the backyard at the age of 10. So I
wow.
Yeah, I think it was destined to do something in regards to sports. So
he was like, "We gonna get this together."
Yeah,
I mean, she's gonna be short, but she's gonna be strong. So
right.
I love it. Yeah. Did you ever get did the boys even sometimes tease you because you're like the only girl?
No, they used to get upset.
Really?
Get crossed up or get scored on. So
Nah.
it was just even. I never had any problems with that.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So, what is it about basketball that motivates you to want to, finish high school, graduate, and then pursue being a coach?
Basketball is like it's a mental game. You kind of have to be smart to play a mental game. And I like the challenges that it basically afforded me as well. And it's not more so like an exterior challenge, but it's a challenge within yourself. Like, I'm small, obviously. I played against kids who were women who were like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". Wow. And here I am at 5'5". So you have to have the heart of the lion to be able to compete against people who are bigger than you and find ways to be effective.
Yeah.
So that was one reason why I actually enjoyed playing, because it tested boundaries of you that you didn't know you had. And coaching, I like to actually push that out of my kids now, which is a struggle, but there's some kids that have some dog in them, which I love to see. I love it. So,
and she pushed it out her sister too. I was about to say, you been coaching before you knew you was coaching.
Yeah, honestly, yes. Truthfully, that is the truth. Especially being the point guard, like, you have to see things before it happens. So it made the game a lot easier as far as transitioning to be a coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being that you're a female athlete, it's hard. It's harder for a female.
Oh,
so can you speak on gender equality when it comes to sports? Because I know that's what you hear a lot when it comes into females being athletes with men.
So that actually affects on every level. I don't know if folks realize that. High school, youth sports, college, professional, we're having the issue now. I'm not going to put anybody's name out there. But there's some sports organizations who basically will fund the male sports to help them do whatever they want to do. And they give them good money. And our girls team is funded through us as coaches. Which to me is against Title IX. And I've been questioning about it for a long time, as well as coaches beforehand. But I think it comes down to marketing. As far as they feel as though that boys basketball is more entertaining, but it's still basketball. We still put the ball in the exact same way. You still get a bucket the exact same way. You still put it in the same amount of hours the exact same way.
Yeah.
And we also see it on a professional level with soccer. Like, the women's were basically had the best record compared to the men, and the men were still getting paid millions.
Wow. It's just, the unfairness in that. I mean, like you said, you guys are playing the same game, the same skills, but you guys are getting paid lesser, and they're being more rough on you guys than they are with the men.
Agreed.
Okay.
How is, because I've never been to, I mean, I'm not a sports person. It's like the only sports I go to is my son's. Like I'm at every game. I don't know what's going on, but I'm there cheering. So how is yes, how is the crowd when it comes to women's sports? Do y'all have a good amount of people that come out, you know, besides family?
As college levels, yes, you do.
Okay.
There's a lot of,
okay.
You have obviously your parents, your family, but you have the student body, you have a lot of alumni.
Okay.
High school right now it's a challenge because, I fuss about it. A lot of the parents are busy. They either have more than one job or
working.
Or so it's a struggle with that. Which we're trying to make better for our kids so they can have that same experience that we had growing up.
Right. Yeah.
When I was coming through high school, we had fans. Like we had fans, regardless of who we were playing. We had fans.
And it's needed though, because that builds the confidence for the other kids when they see not only their family but their friends as well, and it motivates them to want to take it further than high school.
I agree.
Yeah,
they need a support system when they get chewed out by their coaches or getting buckets on them. They need that support system besides hearing it from us or the cheerleaders on the side, which we do appreciate coming, but they need more than just the same people. You know what I mean? Like, you should come out and support your high school team. You're not doing anything on a Friday night or Tuesday night. Come outside. Go to a game. Or if your parents can't come, a neighbor, a friend, a cousin,
somebody. Right. It's all about support.
It's true. Because I feel like, without that support system, you're going through certain things in your life that is important to you, and you have no one there. It just it makes you resent after a while. Like, I ain't had nobody there and I had to do this on my own. I had to survive on my own.
Yeah.
We get into that mentality where, we get into survival mode because we ain't got that foundation and the support or the guidance for, we just want somebody, at least one person to sit there and watch,
Yeah. And just cheer for your kids. Like, even it's a city school, obviously, but when we're going to schools outside the city, it's like they have their gym full for a girls' game. Why can't we have the exact same thing? So the city has changed a lot too, but even still, they're still your kids. It's still a community. It should be equal across the board.
Okay. My question for you is, I know when I was younger and being a girl from the city of Reading and living here all my life, I used to go up to Blacktop up at City Park.
Yes.
Were you a part of that at one point?
I sure was.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, I was. And of course, we had an all-girl team. We played against the boys.
Nice. I like that.
I'm going to have to check y'all out. Are y'all playing down at Blacktop?
Our kids aren't playing now. They have it mixed differently now where they have maybe like one or two girls on the boys team. They don't have like an all-girls team. I don't know about any of that. So.
And how does that work with the girls playing on the boys team? Do they get the same playtime? Because our girls got to have the same playtime.
See that I don't know.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to go myself just to see see what's going on up here. I don't know. I don't know.
Let me find out. We're gonna have to protest.
Because if they're up there playing with the boys, it's only right if they have the same amount of time as the boys. They're trying to play, they're trying to get out there and play that game.
I agree. And
we can be competitive.
Yes, we can.
Competitive as well. We can be competitive.
Yeah. Oh, who you telling? I agree. They don't believe it. We're gonna break a nail or something. But
right. That's the first thing they think about. Oh, you're gonna get hurt or you're gonna break a nail. Take it easy. And it's like, I'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Put a Band-Aid on it. It's okay.
So you spend time in Jeremy. Can you speak on why it's easier for opportunities overseas versus, staying in the United States? Because I see a lot of people that go overseas first before they take a contract here.
They support women on the sports realm differently than they do in the United States. I don't understand why that is, but even the fan base is differently. Now, mind you, I wasn't there long. Once I did arrive there, I had to stop playing. My legs would go numb after running.
Wow.
And yeah, it really odd. So I was forced to come home. Once I came home, it's been about 9 years trying to figure out what the issue was. Like I couldn't run. So yeah, but all I do know is the support over there is so different. Like they'll pay for transportation. Your housing is paid for. You get paid for your games. The fans are like legit into the games. Like they don't care that it's a woman playing or whatever. They're supporting regardless of who's playing.
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
but the United States, we got some people who aren't too bright. The nice way of saying it. When women are doing anything differently than being inside the kitchen, they just have a problem with it. And it's most cases guys who can't even play sports. So
Wow. So they just basically was just throwing people up in there just to kind of play. That's what it sounds like.
it is, yeah, it does. But they have a really good fan base, though. They do support tremendously across seas. And that's why, like, for instance, like Brittany Griner, like she got in that little loophole. Like she was getting paid millions over there in Russia compared to the United States.
Millions?
Millions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to note that.
Millions. That's why she kept going over there. The pay was good.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Nice. So even though you're into basketball and you're a coach, was there ever at any point that you didn't, if things didn't go through as a basketball player or a coach, did you ever have a plan B or any other options?
In college, initially, I wanted to be a veterinarian. But obviously the labs and practice in the morning, it wasn't working. So I had to choose. I always wanted to have like a plan B just in case basketball wasn't, didn't work out the way I wanted it to work.
Okay.
Secondly, I knew I would be in sports regardless, though. If I wasn't playing, either coaching or owning a team or something, I like sports. I always did.
So somewhat you would have been in some kind of sport, even if it wasn't basketball.
Correct.
Okay.
So are you an animal lover, or was that just like,
Oh, I'm an animal lover. I have a dog. I'm an animal lover. I used to work with kids in school, elementary school, like getting books from the library about animals and how to take care of them and testing out my own animals in the basement. What are you doing down there? Oh, nothing.
Okay. So that makes sense, because I'm like, sometimes when we go to college, it's like your parents or people that's in your life is like, just pick something. And
Yeah.
else. I was just wondering if you really enjoyed animals. Or
I actually do. I don't like killing them. I let them free. I'm one of those.
Aww.
Interesting. So now that, the world's changing and we have so many different type of genders and things like that, what is your opinion about the transgender females playing in women's sports?
That's a tough little question there. Me personally, I honestly don't care about it. There was not much of a commotion when there was a female who transitioned to male and she won in a track and field event. There was nothing said about that.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you had this swimmer who beat this person by like a millisecond, everybody's in an uproar. I feel as though if they have like they're going through the process, they have the estrogen levels in and the parts are all removed and etc. I don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
My opinion.
I think it's a valid opinion. Like I said, I don't know much about sports. I just seen that. I'm just
thing.
like, that's interesting because they say that men have a higher testosterone level.
Correct.
And I don't know how that works when it comes to sports. So,
but you have some women also, natural women who have high levels of testosterone too. So what's the difference? And you have folks who are actually born who are hermaphrodites.
Right. That's
so like, what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
I think it could
complain about, I guess. Go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah, I think it could be because point and quote, men are bigger, men are supposed to be faster. I'm like, but we women we're small, we can be strong. I mean, majority of women, especially being single, we have to do a lot of things for ourselves that when we don't have a man around.
Correct.
So what makes the difference,
Yes. And I don't see it possible for them to create a different league for them as far as being a transgender league. You know what I mean? That to me, that makes no sense.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, it would be like how many transgenders do we have that play sports? Will it be enough to actually, go the whole way with championships? And that'd be interesting.
It will, especially for kids on a high school level. So what do you do for a child who says, this and that, and then their high school, you're going to tell them they can't play a sport,
right?
Like if they already went through the whole transition,
right?
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's a hard piece for me. Honestly, if it's not affecting me, if it's not affecting my kids, you're still competing. I honestly don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
So with a lot of being in sports, you being a woman, a Black woman, have you ever experienced any discrimination playing basketball?
Oh, honey. I have. Well, playing different areas, you get called out your name. I've been called the N-word a few times. College-wise, I went to PWI. I don't know if whatever.
Yeah.
PWI, and it was just a whole different experience for me that I would not recommend. But at the same time, I learned so many lessons from that I use today, and also try to teach my kids who are here now. It gave me tougher skin, but at the same time, it's not needed.
Right.
People like that, I don't care for it. But I have experienced it, especially in college, and playing high school basketball. And you also get them stigmas too when you have these old school coaches who don't know how to handle minority athletes. They feel as though with you walking around and etc., you have an attitude all the time, and I've been through all that.
Yeah.
How? Oh, go ahead, Jenny.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how was your emotions knowing that you're in the middle of a game and like say someone called you out your name, or just the attitude and the unnecessariness as you're trying to focus on what you're there to do? How did you overcome that experience of shaking it off?
I just turned all that negative energy onto the floor. I gave them 30. So
nice.
you talk dirty to me, whatever else. Like I'm more of a laid back player. I'm obviously getting my team, whatever. But when people like that, you trash them. That's all you can do. Trash them. You don't need to put your hands on them because it's gonna make you look bad.
Right.
Anybody. So you just trash them. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I mean, it is sad that we live in that kind of world, but you're a basketball player. You're not no different than any other person.
Yeah.
But you know what, girl? Thankfully you went and you turned it around and made it into a positive, and you showed them. I mean, that's what all you can do. You can say what you want about me, but I'm going to show you what I'm capable of.
Right.
And then you laugh away when you're done too.
Yeah.
They get real quiet. Real quiet. It's like, oh, so what was that?
Let's take it again. Go ahead.
So anyways, can you speak about what made you start your nonprofit?
Just seeing how the girls are done around here. I wanted them to have the same experience that I had and some of my counterparts had, or better. So for us to do that, we wanted to make sure that they were set as far as financially. They knew what they were getting into. We had the correct connections to get them there. As far as teaching them how to take care of their bodies, etc. They didn't have that beforehand, and to us that was something that was holding them back for them to play that next level. So that's kind of why I did create the nonprofit, just for them to keep the grades up, one, because the grades thing, a lot of AAU coaches just let them do whatever they want to do, and when it comes to school, their grades are terrible. And I'm like, kid, like, you have to have the grades. If you don't have the grades, you're not playing.
Right.
It's simple. You are a market. After your ninth grade year of high school, you are a market, basically. So if you don't have the correct core classes, or if you don't have the right behavior and etc., you won't get recruited. So that's kind of why I started the nonprofit. So just to educate the girls more about what's expected of them in high school and what's to come in college.
Nice. I like that. I like that you that motivates them. That motivates them. Okay, well, I have to do this, and if I'm not doing right, I can't play. I like that.
Well, thank you.
And it's needed too, because we have so much entertainment on the TV where like people feel as though if you're great at a sport that you can slide your way through. And it's like, if you really want to go to college and you want to get a full scholarship, it's about your grades at the end of the day. You're hand in hand. You can't play if your grades ain't good.
And that's so true. And I think kids fail to realize too that there's so many other girls who are playing the same position that you're playing. So what makes you any different? Like you can get missed just like that. You can be one of the greatest players in your county, your city, etc. But your grades can basically determine where you're going next. You know what I'm saying? So you can miss out on so much if you don't have your grades right.
You made a valid point about they may be the best in their county or their city, but I think a lot of students don't realize that when you go to college, you're playing against the best of the best. From
Correct. Correct. So true.
So, as well as like you had mentioned prior to that, we were speaking that you started a summer camp. Can you tell us how that came about, and can you give us details?
Okay, sure. So we're entering year 6. I've been working a lot of camps across the U.S., Point Guard Academies, Nike Camp, and whatever else. And obviously, a lot of our kids here don't have the funds to go to camps like that. A lot of these camps are like $1,000 per person, per kid, and it's like 2 or 3 days. So my idea was just to basically take what I learned there and bring it back for our kids at a cheaper price, at a more affordable price, so they can get the exact same knowledge as other kids are getting. I try to get staff who basically are college athletes. I get a lot of guest speakers. I'm working on getting Ruthie Bolton back. She was actually in the dream team. Sherelle George, she's a Harlem Globetrotter. I have a friend, Ashley. She's an NBA ref. So I have people in place to spark a plug in these young girls' ears. I think that's kind of good for an area like this because they don't see too many positive women in sports. Yes. In real life, so it's like I bring them here, like, hey, look, there's people like this around the world who are doing things that they love in regards to sports, and you guys can do the exact same thing too.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. And I think that definitely, motivates them or pushes them better, especially if you get a star to come out and talk about their grades. It's like, oh, it's not just coach or mom talking about it. This is legit. This is serious.
And I think that kind of really inspires them, especially if they meet them and they just like speak a good word in them.
Yeah.
That just like, that is amazing. I love how, the athletes that do that, like they, you call them up and like, hey, can you come here? And even in a small town, and they just want to see, and how they're so involved in the community, that inspires a kid, they're like, great, I live in a small city, but there's so much more out there for me, I can do this. I love that. Definitely.
Thank you. We try to teach them that basketball can basically take you anywhere in the world you want it to take you.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to play, there's so many other avenues you can do with sports. So just try to make sure we bring them people around so that they can see for themselves,
I like that. So how did you get into becoming an author? Because you didn't speak nothing about when I was younger, I had to. It's just like, wait.
I don't know. Like, just sometimes I get in these little creative habits, and I'm like, I feel like doing this today, and I do it. Well, the pandemic happened. That's what happened. So I had free time. I write a lot anyway. I always spoke about writing a book. I just never had the time to do so. So I utilized my time during work, drive around the city. I'll park my car and I was just writing pages.
That's awesome.
I finished that book maybe within 6 to 9 months. I had it
Wow.
published in February. So far, it's doing honestly really good. I never would have thought that it would I would receive this much action from the book, but I'm happy that that I did do it. So
That's
That's
great.
amazing.
Can you express to us just a little bio of it? Not too much, because we want everybody to go out on Amazon and catch the book. Okay. But just give us a little glimpse of what we getting into.
it's basically a book about my childhood. Growing up, sports, things that I had to overcome, because I was a little punk growing up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I shouldn't say that. I was really reserved growing up as a kid. Laid back. I didn't talk too much. I only did what I was supposed to do, and that was it. So I just spoke about.
I know. That's why your dad had you weightlifting.
Yeah, he knew he was. I basically just spoke about some of those challenges that I had. My grandmother as well. I had to help take care of her. She had Alzheimer's disease, so a lot of times I couldn't even go outside because I had to watch her. So I made things work as a kid. So that's all in the book. I ain't gonna give too much information, but that's all in the book.
So
things that
everyone that's
I
listening,
conquered,
make sure
basically.
you go. Yes, make sure you check out her book on Amazon. I'm sure it's a great, inspiring book, and it tells you a little bit about yourself too, as well.
Yes, it does.
Amazing. That is so awesome.
So thank you.
You're welcome. So is there anything you want to express or share that we didn't cover?
Well, I am having another camp. I guess I'll put that information out now.
Yes.
July 21st to the 24th. It's a 4-day camp. A lot of activity, 5-on-5 to 3-on-3s, guest speakers, etc. I also am working on another book, but I'll keep the details.
Awesome.
So yeah, so that's all I have basically coming out for right now. Trying to stay busy still,
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about the camp? Is it going to be in the evening or is it all day?
It's from 8:30 to 3:30.
Okay.
Thursday through Sunday. That Sunday we're gonna have a cookout. Hamburger, hot dogs, stuff for the kids. A lot of giveaways, prizes, competitions. That's about it.
Age limit?
Grades 2 to 10. 2nd grade to 10th grade, girls
Awesome.
only.
And how do they connect? How are they able to register or sign up?
There's a flyer posted around on social media, and there's actually a QR code. So you scan the code, you just fill out the information, and it comes right to me. So
okay,
easy way to do so.
And if you send me information for the people that's listening audio, I can add it under the bio as well. So that way we can get that out there for them as well. Thank you.
That is fine.
That is so great. That is so awesome what you're doing for these kids. I think is amazing, putting some time in and investing in your own community, which is very important.
I agree.
Yeah. So we have one question we ask all our guest speakers.
I'm afraid for this one.
What makes you uncommon?
That's a good one. I guess I would say authentic. I like to support my own. I like to support women, basically. Women who are doing it. I like to be independent. I like to be creative in my own realms.
Okay.
I do not like to be in a box. So whatever that sees fit, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it.
I love that.
You just go after what you want.
Basically.
I like that.
As it should be.
Exactly. You just took the words right out my mouth. I was about to, as it should be. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this evening. And is there any questions?
Let's see if there's any questions from the audience. Nope, we don't have any questions.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And thank you so much, Ashley, for speaking out and telling us a little bit about yourself and your story and being a part of the community for young girls. Thank you so much for that and putting all your time in for that. We need more people to be doing that for our community, especially for the city of Reading. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you, ladies, as well, for doing your part as well. And I know you guys are doing amazing things too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, everyone, thank you for tuning in again. Make sure you check out our apparel at www.uncommonwomen.net, as well as make sure you go check out our YouTube channel, Uncommon Women Podcast, like and share. I am currently still looking for someone for the month of July for an awareness for cleft, craniofacial, and sarcoma awareness. You can email me at uncommon3women@gmail.com. You can reach me there. Or if you or a family member or anyone is experiencing or living through any of these awarenesses, you can definitely, again, email me at uncommon3women@gmail.com. And next week, unfortunately, we don't have a show next week. So make sure you guys join us July 14th at 7 p.m. And everyone, stay uncommon. Bye.
Bye.